Hello and welcome to the Social Connection. It's your program about social media news, the trends you talked about, the videos you shared and what new changes social media companies offer its users. I am Nancy Kohli and with me is Preeti Tiwari.
Thank you, Nancy. Welcome everyone. We are back with yet another edition in which we'll take you through the top trends, latest news and everything that kept the social media platform busy. But first up, let's take a look at what we have in store for you in this edition.
Ahead of Paris Climate Summit, government reaches out to citizens via Twitter to discuss on India's stand at COP21.
India launches climate action website ahead of UN summit in Paris.
Let's start with the top stories now. The government is planning $1 billion private equity fund initially seeded by government companies for renewable energy sector. Interacting with netizens through Talkathon, Power Minister Piyush Goyal has said 77 crore bulbs and all streetlights in 5,000 towns will be replaced by 2018. More in this report.
Paris Climate Summit, even before it begins, is being talked about in many nations across the world. But the worry is whether countries will be able to reach any agreement. On Friday, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar and Power Minister Piyush Goyal discussed the issue with people on Twitter. Power Minister Piyush Goyal said India has presented an example in front of the world by making a provision of tax on coal so that the collected amount can be utilized for protection of the environment.
We hope to very soon launch a $1 billion private equity fund where some of the government companies are seeding the initial capital required, and then we'll look at international capital being pooled with that to provide equity support to companies which want to come in and invest in India or Indian companies who want to invest in renewable energy.
Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar said if other nations can also emulate India's initiative of imposing tax, they can also accumulate funds for environment protection. On the issue of climate change, India has made it clear developed nations have to fulfill their responsibility as far as carbon emission issue is concerned. India has announced reduction in carbon emission from 33 to 35%, which is a significant step. The reduction will be done with 2005 as the base year. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar said India is going to Paris with a progressive and constructive approach and hoped a solution will emerge on the climate issue at Paris.
The Paris will be a milestone and we are sure that there will be a just and equitable agreement because India has taken very positive steps under leadership of Narendra Modi, not only in renewable but in clean environment, clean energy, clean water, clean air and more greens.
In a unique gesture, around 50 school children extended good wishes to the Indian delegation for the Conference of Parties. The children presented a symbolic globe to the Environment Minister.
Next up, for the first time in the world, a developing country has put together a comprehensive action plan of reducing the carbon emissions and make a pollution-free atmosphere. And for this, it has launched a website explaining their actions. Yes, India becomes that country to launch a website explaining its vision. Our correspondent Venkatraman gives you a tour to the website. More in this report.
2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference to be held in Paris. The whole world is gearing up for that. Based on the previous experiences, United Nations has asked its member nations to give the list of the actions, what they are doing to curb the climate change menace. India has also done it. It has given its intended nationally determined contribution, an 8-point formula of how it actually is tackling this menace. But it is not the end. India has launched a website as well to actually explain the actions of how India is dealing with this climate change menace as well. And then the name of the website is justclimateaction.org, launched by Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar. The website contains about 300 GB data of reports, pictures and also the short films. The basic thrust is to provide rich content in the form of short films to engage the audience, to go through the whole content and actually get some awareness about the actions taken by the Indian government to curb this climate change menace. If you look at the outline of the complete website, It has got various videos as well. To begin with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's videos, the way he spoke about the climate change and also the actions of India to be taken in the future as well to curb this climate change menace as well. And also we have the videos of the Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar while he was speaking about the climate change. Apart from that, on the title bar India at COP21, we have 6 more links. To begin with the India's INDC. As I was mentioning, India's intended nationally determined contribution has also come in. It's a 8-point formula to begin with sustainable lifestyle. It also speaks about cleaner economic development. It also speaks about the target of reducing the emissions intensity by 33 to 35% by 2030, an ambitious target. Also, it speaks about increasing the share of non-fossil fuel-based electricity. It also speaks about increasing the carbon sink by afforestation methods. And beside that, we have Science Express, which basically opens into the respective website. We all know the Science Express is a train moving across the country, bringing some awareness among the people about the menace of the climate change and also the actions taken by the Indian government and also the world to tackle this global warming challenges as well. Apart from that, the third link is basically the reports. It actually opens into a different page. It speaks about various reports given by the government and also the other agencies. Currently, there are 5 reports on this. And apart from that, besides that, we have India's initiatives. These initiatives taken by the government and also the other private sector agencies under 7 different heads. So basically, these speak about the clean energy, the energy efficiency industries, and the capacity building, enhancing the rural livelihoods, and so on. And beside that, we have the 5th link, which speaks about the events. It basically speaks about the events related to the India Pavilion at the COP21. And below that, on the modular layout, we have the latest news as well, latest news related to the climate change and also the press releases and basically all those things. And we have the 6th link speaks about the media center. The media center, it will be a resource pool across the world for the journalists. And the most important aspect of the website is the FAQ column at the bottom. These FAQs related to the India's actions on the climate change and also the India's INDC, many agencies and also certain media reports suggest these FAQs are one of the finest and the best, not just in India but across the globe. Basically, this is all about the complete website. So this website is an aggregator of projects of over 30 ministries and agencies that can influence and curb India's carbon emissions.
We're heading for a short commercial break at the moment, but we have lots of interesting stories coming up. Stay tuned and keep watching Doordarshan News.
Now the national news channel of India, live on your mobile phone. Get the news on the go. Watch top videos, get the latest news and continuous news on your mobile phone. Download DD News app now. Visit the Android Play Store, search for DD News, download the app to your phone. Get the power of information at your fingertips. DD News. Only news, complete news.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज की रेस से हटकर
खबरें कुछ अच्छी भी हैं,
खबरें जो बढ़ाएंगी हौसला और विश्वास,
उम्मीद भरी खबरें जो लाएंगी मुस्कान। गुड न्यूज इंडिया।
सुबह का सही आगाज ताजा खबरों के साथ, सुर्खियों के आईने से देश विदेश की सही तस्वीर और दिन के हर पहलू पर नजर। नया सवेरा सोमवार से शुक्रवार सुबह 7 बजे सिर्फ डीडी न्यूज पर।
Welcome back. You must be familiar with the top trending topics of the week, but here's a quick wrap of the trends that rule different social media platforms.
Indian Railways trended for a good reason this week. Luxury coaches built under Make in India effort feature new amenities and facilities for the travellers. Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu posted photos of the designer coaches on social media platforms. The new features include ergonomic seats, snack tables, LED reading lights and bar toilets in every coach. Bigger side berths equipped with jerkless seats, fire extinguishers on both sides of a coach are some other salient features of these modern coaches. The mobile charging ports and flooring of the coach has also been modernized. Tamasha, the latest flick from filmmaker Imtiaz Ali, remained a talking point this week. The Bollywood movie starring Ranbir Kapoor and Deepika Padukone hit the theatres with mixed responses and collected over 10 crore on the opening day. Tamasha, which is directed by Imtiaz Ali, also stars Javed Sheikh and Nikhil Bhagat. Ace musician A.R. Rahman composed the film's music and Irshad Kamil wrote the lyrics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi established November 26th as national holiday on the occasion of Constitution Day. The Prime Minister tweeted, "Let us always uphold the ideals and values of our Constitution and create an India that would make our founding fathers very proud." This is the first annual celebration of the holiday. In his post, PM Modi said, "Greetings to people of India on the historic occasion of first Constitution Day. May this day inspire you to know more about our Constitution. This day is a tribute to all those great women and men who worked tirelessly to give India a constitution we are very proud of." NASA released a video showing how astronauts celebrate Thanksgiving in space. This made International Space Station a trending topic of the week. The video also shows how to cook turkey in space. There are currently 6 crew members, including 2 Americans, stationed at the International Space Station. The video is of 1 minute. The images and the news was a talking point on social media sites, with many experts sharing the video of ISS as well. The video looks quite interesting and shows the celebration of Thanksgiving in space. The 35th edition of the India International Trade Fair concluded in New Delhi. It witnessed record footfall this year, with over 18 lakh people visiting till the last day of the event. The fair, popularly known as Delhi Trade Fair, was organized on Make in India theme. Bihar Pavilion at the India International Trade Fair was awarded a gold medal for implementing the Swachh Bharat mission. The pavilion had been decorated with a Bodhi tree made by using 2,000 bamboos.
Moving on, an Agatha Christie story gets a modern makeover with a new app telling one of the novelist's mysteries through a social media feed. Based on Christie's 1930 story, The Mysterious Mr. Quine, the Pirate Mr. Quine app launched on Thursday is being billed as the first digital drama of its kind. Take a look at the report.
The party of the year, and you are invited. Royston Manor, my gaff. We promise drama, music, magic, and of course, my nearest and dearest. The Eveshams, everyone's favourite couple, Tom, my best friend.
With her page-turning detective mysteries and murder whodunits, Agatha Christie's novels have won over generations of fans since they were first published 95 years ago. Now, in a world of smartphones and tablets, her work is being targeted at digital audiences with a new app telling one of her tales through a social media feed of messages, photos and videos.
5 years ago I died, and none of them know why.
Based on Christie's 1930 set of short stories, The Mysterious Mr. Quine, the Pilot Mr. Quine app, launched on Thursday, is being billed as the first digital drama of its kind. Agatha Christie Productions has teamed up with the entertainment mobile platform to bring the story's main duo, the eponymous Quine and socialite Saturth Waite, into a modern-day setting. The story, in which the characters talk to each other via Twitter-like text, posted images and videos, begins at a country manor party where hostess Lady Laura plans to unveil her new online venture. But in classic Christie style, the tone soon darkens when a mysterious Mr. Quine takes over Saturth Waite's live blogging of the event, turning the conversation to the suicide 5 years ago of the guest's mutual friend.
The conceit of the app is that all the characters tell their stories on social media. So you voyeuristically look in at their worlds as the story comes out.
Viewing is on demand or via an impressive scheduled show in which audiences receive messages and can participate by posting comments.
I think one of the things we wanted to create was something that was that replicated the way we use media today, and we didn't feel like storytelling was actually being true to that medium.
To give a sense of real footage, the production starring Game of Thrones actor Gethin Anthony as Saturth Waite and actress Rebecca Scroggs as Lady Laura was shot on GoPros and iPhones.
When we watch something on YouTube or Twitter, we tend to comment or pass it to our friends and share and like and whatever. And I think that dialogue between people is really interesting, particularly as we get a bit more fractured in society, and actually watching something can be a very collective experience using the internet. We can all join the community. So I think that what this does is really emphasise the idea that, in any whodunit, it's always your murder mystery. It's always interesting to have your opinions, and this way you can actively share that.
Christie, who died in 1976, wrote dozens of books and short stories which followed much-loved characters such as moustached detective Hercule Poirot and the elderly spinster Miss Marple.
Well, the thing that was so remarkable about Christie was her connection with her fans. She used to keep all of her fan letters and she replied to every single one. So we truly believe that she would have absolutely loved this type of opportunity, this environment where you can have that direct contact with your fans on a daily basis, right down to the minute details. Someone in Argentina, Brazil, America, Australia, and she could have been interacting with them very real time. So I think she would have loved that.
The Mr. Quinn app is priced $2.99 and available from the Apple App Store.
Well, don't go anywhere as we're heading for a short commercial break. We have another lot of interesting stories coming up. Stay tuned to DD News.
हर दिन बदलती खबरें, हर पल बनती नई सुर्खियां, खबरों की रफ्तार के साथ हर दोपहर दुनिया की ताजा तस्वीर। दोपहर समाचार रोजाना 2 बजे सिर्फ DD न्यूज पर। सुर्खियों की भीड़ में अहम खबरें, असल मुद्दे जो डालते हैं आपकी जिंदगी पर असर। दिन भर की हर बड़ी खबर का बेबाक विश्लेषण, सच, सटीक, संपूर्ण। न्यूज नाइट सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 8 से 10 बजे सिर्फ DD न्यूज पर।
Welcome back to the Social Connection. Well, Google has announced a new feature for its Hangouts chat and video calling application that allows meeting organizers to invite users to calls even if they don't have Google accounts. Google says the new feature was one of its most requested and is rolling out this week. Is more in this report. Take a look.
Users of Google Hangouts, Google's video conferencing app, have long complained that only those with Gmail or Google Plus accounts could use the service. Google answered those complaints by introducing a guest mode, which will allow hosts to invite anyone to a Hangout session. The new update allows conference hosts to invite users who do not have a Google account to join the call. The company states that this makes it easier for people to hold meetings on Google Hangouts for clients, counselors, and any other external meeting guests. However, the host must have a Google account to be able to add people. To get started, guests will only have to give out their names to join the call and will not have to give out additional information. Hosts will still moderate the meeting and be able to mute calls or remove people from the conference. External guests can join on any web or mobile platform and have to be approved by the organizer. This was one of the most awaited features, and Hangouts has gained a lot of attention in the past few months. Even though Google has never disclosed the number of users that Hangouts has, considering the popularity of Gmail, it makes sense to give the Messenger a more advanced interface and features so it can better compete with Facebook Messenger. The current update, which is available on both iOS and Android, is a step in that direction. In July 2014, Google moved to make Hangouts an option for enterprise users. That is when the company made Hangouts a feature in Google Apps for business users. Before that, Hangouts was known more as social medium that was used as part of Google+. Standing on its own outside of Google+ made the feature more widely available. While an obvious plus for current Google Hangouts users, the new capability will probably also further spur adoption of Google Hangouts as a video conferencing and video chatting option, and provides an especially compelling alternative to other rival video chatting platforms.
Well, it's time to see all the feedback that you sent in on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Well, that's the end of our show, but continue sending in your feedback, comments as you have been on ddnews.com @gmail.com or our Twitter handle, that's DD News Live, our Facebook page as well, or on our YouTube channel.
Well, yes, we hope that you enjoyed the show as much as we did in presenting it to you. And before we sign off, we leave with an interesting video. See you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Why did the generation before me leave us with a lot of environmental problems?
Where is the action that was once promised in spirit? There's so much power the world has, but we just don't do anything.
This isn't just us we're losing. This is future generations, the planet as a whole.
For me, this is not a problem that will only affect our future generations, but one that affects me now.
Why?
Why?
¿Por qué?
My question to the United Nations is, why? Why do you sit here and pretend and do nothing?
Why do we continue doing nothing when these drastic weather changes are already claiming the lives of people?
Why wait until it's too late to stop using fossil fuels?
Why do we continue to scour the globe for the last of the dwindling resources?
Why don't you take more action? What are you leaders afraid of?
The environmental issues that are most important to me, for one, it's the drought.
The dredging of the Great Barrier Reef, the deforestation in Tasmania.
The dam that provides my city with water is predicted to be drying up by next month.
All these organisms are becoming extinct.
Com a floresta amazônica sendo destruída, muita pouca umidade vem aqui para a região sul e sudeste. Então, provavelmente, daqui a alguns anos, a gente possa ter pouquíssima água aqui.
My dad wanted to try put a wind turbine in our garden. The council said, no, it doesn't look pretty enough. If we actually want to try make a change, you've got to help us try make a change.
When my generation grows up, we may not have the time to hold summits about climate because it will have already affected us too much.
To the leaders of the UN, I would like to ask,
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not come up with region-specific solutions?
Why not
make the change to clean energy?
Why not focus on increasing the efficiency of renewable energy sources?
Why not inform and engage the students of this generation to act upon climate change?
Why not give tax benefits on green energy?
Por que não criar programa mais forte de proteção ambiental?
Why not be committed to a future for your people?
Me and the whole next generation are counting on you.
Why not now?
Why not now?
Why not now?